Now we continue with the Course in Miracles, Workbook Lesson 74. There is no will but God's. So if God is all there is, the only will is God's. And so all there is God's will being done, being eternally. So then what is this universe if God's will is all there is? It's the temporal appearance of something which is not God's will. And therefore it has no choice but to dissolve in the light of awareness, which is God's will. The light of awareness is God's will. There is no will but God's. The idea for today can be regarded as the central thought towards which all our exercises are directed. God is the only will. Well, God's is the only will. You can say it either way. God is. When you have recognized this, you have recognized that your will is his, even though you think there's a you having a will. The belief that conflict is possible has no choice but to be gone. Peace has replaced the strange idea that you are torn by conflicting goals. As an expression, clearly states here, this is it, non-duality. As an expression of the will of God, you have no goal but God's will. There is great peace, it says today, in today's idea. And the exercise for today are directed towards finding it, well, knowing it. The idea itself is wholly true. Therefore, it cannot give rise to illusions. Without illusions, conflict is impossible. Without thought, conflict is impossible. Without thought, there just is that which is God's will. And so let us try to recognize this today and every other day. So the minute you find yourself in conflict, realize God's will be done. Return. Get yourself out of the way. Let go, let God. And it says, begin the longer practice periods by repeating these thoughts several times. Tattoo this on your arm. There is no will but God's. I cannot be in conflict. If I'm in conflict, I'm not aligned with God's will. I am at peace. Nothing can disturb me. This isn't a request. This is an affirmation of what I am. Nothing can disturb me. My will is God's, which is why the calling from within my Holy Spirit, the extension of that which is God's will, is calling me to know, not be thyself knowingly, know myself as that which is God's will. My will and God's are one. Why? Because there's only God. The Son is an extension of that which is the one and only. We call it God, the essence, the Tao. God's will, God wills peace for his Son. Why? Because God's essence, light, energy, awareness is the awareness and light of peace itself. The very core essence of what you are, what we all are, in truth, the essence of ourself is peace. It is God's will being done. There is no will but God's. And whatever thoughts come my way, conflicting thoughts, are meaningless because they're not true. These are the filters of illusions trying to hang on to being illusions. Let them go. How do you let them go? Pay no heed. Give them no attention. If there's one conflict area that seems particularly difficult to resolve, single it out for special consideration. Look at it. When that sensation, feeling, emotion comes up, focus on it. Like unpeeling an onion until you realize nothing. There's no source to the thought that came as conflict. Look for the conflict thought. Delve into it. Sit with the emotion. Sit with the sensation. Anything disturbing you, go into it. Fully dive into it and pull it apart. And you'll realize there's nothing. It didn't come from any. It was an illusion of an illusion itself. The truth of itself doesn't exist. The truth of the self is all there is. There is no will but God. I share it with them. Why? Because I'm an extension of that which is. And so your conflicts about the political situation, about X, Y, Z, about this place, that place, world hunger, the GMOs, the deforestation, whatever in the world, the minute you It's designed to trap you. It's going to make you feel heavy about little furry animals suffering and get cats and dogs and whatever. And then you're going to be trapped by it. You're going to imagine it, and you're going to imagine you can do something about it. And you think you're going to find a solution to an illusion, no matter what you come up with. It's not true. And the minute you think you can come up with a solution, it's not true. And so if you have a grievance, it's not true. And what does the grievance do? It traps you in the grievance. And next thing you know, you're attacking this person and that person and projecting yourself onto them. And then you wonder why they disappear from your awareness. Because at some stage, that which realizes it's no longer illusion isn't going to entertain illusion. And that gives you this little exercise. After you've cleared your mind in this way, close your eyes and try and experience the peace to which your reality entitles you. Entitlement is a terrible ego term. But Holy Son of God, you're entitled to being thyself knowingly. Sink into it and feel it, and close it around you. Clothe yourself with it. There may be some temptation to mistake these attempts for withdrawal, but the difference is easily detected. You're not denouncing, you're not rejecting, you're not pushing it away. You're returning to thyself. You're either running away from safety or you're abiding in it. If you are succeeding, you will feel a deep sense of joy, peace first, and an increased alertness to what? To the awareness, which is all-encompassing as silent peace. If you start to feel drowsy, you're tired, you've let go, and your ego will make you tired and trap you into another sleeping dream. Joy characterizes peace. So the characterization, joy in embodiment is peace, and peace in embodiment is joy, silent stillness. By this experience, you will recognize that you have reached it, the silent stillness within it. You can abide there for hours, days, months, but there's no need because it's always here now. 1 second in it is enough. So if you find yourself withdrawing, detaching, pulling away from, realize you're in rejection, you're in resistance, and just return to the peace. Be thyself knowingly, Holy Son of God. There is no will but God's. And what do we seek? We seek his will. What is his will? As it abides in us, as we abide in his will, peace, silent stillness. And that brings us to lesson 75. The light has come. As you abide in the silent stillness, the light has come. The silent stillness is awareness, is the light. Don't imagine lights now. The light has come. You are that. Light is awareness, the awareness which transcends understanding into the knowing of thyself is that which is the eternal extension of the love, which is God. Love of God is the love which is God, which is what you are. The light has come. You are healed and you can heal. And can heal means it's the ever extension of the healing we are, the light we have. We are. The light has come. You are saved and you can save. You are at peace and you will bring peace while you appear in the dream with you wherever you go. Darkness and turmoil and death have disappeared. The light has come. Is a recognition, is a statement, is an affirmation of what you are. Holy light, holy sun, holy extension of the light which we call God. Today we celebrate the happy ending to your long dream of disaster, of this world, of hell. There are no dark dreams now. Be thyself knowingly and let dreams go. The light has come. Today the time of light begins for you and everyone in your dream, the localizations of you, 8 billion localizations of you, Holy Son of God, dreaming a dream that can never happen, never happened, and never will happen. The light has come, meaning the dream is over. Forgive yourself the dream and realize that it is over. The light has come, that today the time of light begins for you and everyone. It is now a new era. You've awoken to self. Were you still asleep, you'd call this enlightenment. But enlightenment is shedding light on a dark shadow that never exists. You are the light. You are the light. You are a new era in which a new world is born in your awareness as it starts to reflect the peace of God within you. The old idea of hell, the whole old world is left. No trace upon you in its passing. Today we see a different world because the light has come. Your awareness is awakened to itself. You have become consciously, you're in the dream, consciously aware of awareness itself as the all-pervading silence within, that which is your Holy Spirit, the extension of God itself. And so our exercises with this one will be happy ones, because it's an affirmation, confirmation, recognition, in which we offer thanks for the passing of the old dream and the beginning of a new dream in which our true self is reflected back at us, knowing that even this dream shall pass as we return to awakening. No dream at all. No shadow from the past remains to darken our sight and hide the world forgiveness offers us. That's your purpose. Today we'll accept the new world as what we want to see, know, be. We will be given what we desire, seeking first the kingdom. We will will to see the light. The light has come. We want to know it has. We want to consciously be aware of the awareness itself. And in our longer practice periods, we will be devoted to looking at the world that our forgiveness shows us. A forgiven world shows a forgiven self. A forgiven world shows the joy of being. This is what we want to see. This is what we want to know. And only this. Our single purpose, seek ye first the kingdom, recognition of self, makes our goal inevitable, even though it may seem to take a lifetime. Today, the real world, a world which is a reflection, still in the dream, but it's a reflection of our true self. It becomes blinding and awakes the dreamer in the light of awareness. Our single purpose makes our goal inevitable. Light has come. Today, the real world rises before us in gladness because it's joyous. There's no sorrow for losing our illusion. Sight has given us the knowing. Now that the light has come, we do not want to see the ego's shadows on the world today. We see the light, and in it we see heaven. Our true self's reflection lies across the world. Begin the longer practice period by telling yourself the glad tidings of your release. The light has come. I have forgiven myself for dreaming a world, a universe of bodies, and all the conflicting dreams I've had. Dwell not upon the pervade. How could I not have known this earlier? Don't do that. It immediately traps you in grievance. You had to go through what you had to go through in order for you to be yourself knowingly here and now. Remember, the past isn't real. Don't harbor it. Don't wonder why you didn't know it earlier. The fact that you wonder why you didn't know it earlier is reminding you of your guilt of the past. And that is why the Son of God, even though he's awake in God, even though a part of his mind, Christ's mind, is awake, the dream still seems to appear because he's wondering, how could I have not known better? How could I have been the Roman soldiers that crucified myself as Jesus 2,000 years ago? How could I have been X, Y, and Z that hurt me in this lifetime and brought upon all my grievances? How could I have not recognized that all 8 billion were one being? Let go. Be here now. Give no thought, because the minute thought comes, there's the temptation. Lead me not in temptation means lead me not to think another single thought. Abide in silent stillness and be thyself knowing. Keep a complete open mind, washed, clean of everyone and every concept you have ever made. You have forgiven the world today. You can look upon it now as you've never seen it before, as a reflection of the joyous being you are. A joyous being, which is the extension of God's love. The light has come. I have forgiven the world. Realize that your forgiveness entitles you to vision and new awakened understanding. Understand the Holy Spirit, your core essence, the memory of God in you, never fails because it's you, the real you, to give you the gift of sight to the forgiving. Believe he will not fail you now because he is the real you. You have forgiven the world. He will be with you. He is with you now. As you watch and wait, and don't imagine, allow it to come to you. He will show you what true vision sees. It is his will, and you have joined it with him, for there's only him as you. Wait patiently for him, meaning wait for the reality to come through in your awareness. He will be there because he is here now. The light has come. You have forgiven the world. Tell him, you Tell him you know you cannot fail because you trust in him. It's you. You can't not trust in it. It is your life's force. It is your life spark. And tell yourself you wait in certainty to look upon the world he promised you. From this time forth, you will see things differently. You have chosen to remember. Today the light has come, and you will see the world that has been promised you since time began, which means since the dream began, and which is and in which is the end of time ensured. The end of days is the end of time as our currency, and the recognition of the here now, the eternal light of awareness, as our true source, and therefore true essence of the beingness we are and share with the source of all creation. And this is in the shorter practice periods. 2 will be joyful reminders of our release. Remind ourselves every quarter of an hour, every moment of the day. Today, right here now, is the time for special celebration. The minute you go into awareness, celebrate awareness. Give thanks. Gratitude and silence brings the joyous knowing of being. For mercy and the love of God, grace. Rejoice, grace, the joyous being. Rejoice in the power of forgiveness to heal your sight completely. Stop seeing the illusion. Be confident that on this day there is a new beginning without the darkness of past thoughts, ideas, concepts of suffering, which we once again project onto the world. If they're gone, what are we projecting? Pure light. And you cannot fail to see what? Know yourself as pure light. And what you see will be so welcoming that you will gladly extend today forever, because it's the eternal extension of the love, the light of God. Say then, the light has come, I have forgiven the world. And if you think of someone that's still irritating you, the light has come, has forgiven the idea that you've even existed as something outside me. If you insist on staying there, I forgive you, and you will disappear from my awareness, because I don't need to hold a figure in view. And so when I forgive, I forget all illusions, and I will only see reflections of my joyous self, the self which is the extension of God's love. And then as we move on to lesson 76, which is really an extension of that I'm under no laws but God. And in this universe, there's one unmutable law, one immutable law, the law of one. So there's only God, and the extension of God is His sonship, and His sonship is identical as to its source. And so every light cell, every son of God in the extension of which is God, is like every other light cell, which is like its source, the law of one. Nothing is given and received because everything is. In this universe, which is the activity of our dream, happening in that very essence which the law of one takes place. In the dream, the law of one plays out as the law of what? Law of attraction, law of reciprocity. But these are derivatives filtered through the dreaming mind of many laws of God. There's only one law. There's the law of one, the law of God, immutable. If a law is mutable, it changes over time. It wasn't real. I'm under no laws but God. We have observed before how many senseless things we have seen to you to be salvation: meditation, Reiki, Course in Miracles, prana, mushrooms, blah, 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 blah. Silent stillness, be still and know I am. Each has imprisoned you with laws as senseless as itself. Oh, The Secret came out and the whole world went mad. Why? Because I want to attract happiness. How can you attract what you already are? You're nothing but bound by them. Yet to understand that this is so, you must first realize salvation lies not in this world and attracting more stuff and more things into your awareness. The minute you attract things into your awareness, you lose awareness. To return to awareness is to be dispassionate about people, places, things, and events. Let go, be non-attached, abide. While you would seek for it in things that have no meaning, you bind yourself to laws that make no sense. Thus do you seek to prove salvation is where it is not, and then you stay trapped in proving it's not here. It's seeking for it here. It's madness. Today we'll be glad that you cannot prove it. For if you could, you would forever seek salvation where it is not and never find it. In the history of mankind, no one's remained happy forever. And those that have come and ascended in conscious, we then turn into deities, not realizing what they were trying to show us is that we can be identical to them. We're all brothers and sisters, is what Jesus taught 2,000 years ago. And yet, what did he say? What I can do, you can do, and greater things than I've done, you shall do. How come we don't? Because we've turned him into a deity, as opposed to realizing he's showing us, he's mirroring us, mirroring our true self. The idea for today tells you, once again, how simple is salvation. Look for it where it waits for you, and where it will be found, within. Look nowhere else, for it is nowhere else. Be still and know I am. Look within, or you go without. Think of the freedom in the recognition that you are not bound by all the strange and twisted laws you have set up to save yourself. Do you really think that you would starve unless you have stacks of little green paper strips and piles of metal discs? Do you really think a small round pellet or some fluid pushed into your veins through sharpened needles will ward off disease and death? Do you think really a COVID vaccination is going to stop you from dying at your prescribed, scripted time? Do you really think that you are alone unless another body is with you? How often have you felt intense loneliness, even when the special love partner was with you, or your closest friend? Alone, you find your all oneness. And once you found your all oneness, you'll never be alone. And then you could be surrounded by other people. But if you think other people are going to complete you, not even Tom Cruise could get it right. It is insanity that thinks these things. You call them laws, and you put them under different names in long catalogs of rituals that have no use and serve no purpose other than to make yourself feel special, or write a few more books, or sell a few more seminars. Teachers for God. You think that you must obey the laws of medicine, of economics, and of health, and that you could be more spiritual than someone else, more enlightened than someone else. If you think you're more enlightened than someone else, then the fact that you think there's someone else shows you how asleep you are, you special fairy. You think that you can protect the body and you will be saved. You think that you can buy longevity medicines and herbs and spices and you're going to live forever. The truth of you done. The illusion of you won't. And how long do you think you want to hang on to this little skeleton of rotting flesh and meat, imagining itself aging by day? Has it served you well up until now? These are not laws, but madness. The body is endangered by the dreaming mind that forgot what it was, that hurts itself. The body suffers just in order that the mind will fail to see it is the victim of itself. Hence all the diseases and myriads of opportunities that the pain body can act up. The body suffering is the mask the mind holds up to hide what really suffers. What do we seek? To maximize pleasure, minimize pain, maximize joy, minimize aloneness. And what is it that we do? Whatever we seek is what we don't get, because seeking means we don't have. Abide and be thyself knowingly. It would not understand it is its own enemy, that it attacks upon itself and it wants to die, hopefully still making a difference. It is from this your laws would save the body. It is for this you think you are a body, and you think you can be special and spiritual and enlightened as a body. The light is not in a body. The light is that in which the entire dream takes place. The body is in the light, the no dream. Awaken to the light. Let go of your dream. Realize this never was. Forgive it. for it was a senseless dream. There are no laws except the law of God, the law of one. This needs repeating over and over again until you realize it applies to everything that you have made, created in this world in opposition to God's will. Your magic has no meaning, special little witch. What it is meant to save does not exist. Only what it is meant to hide will save you. What is it meant to hide? The light is within. No one in this entire universe has special power. The miracle is the returning to what is natural. And when you get out of the way, your device could be used as a conduit for bringing the awareness that miracles are totally natural. The laws of God can never be replaced. We will devote today to rejoicing that this is so. It is no longer a truth that we could hide or would hide. We realize instead it is a truth that keeps us forever free as that which is the light of awareness. Magic imprisons, but the laws of God, magic, man-made concepts, ideas of specialness, but the laws of God, the laws of one, make free the realization there is only one. The light has come because there are no laws but his. And so it gives you the practice period, but it also highlights things like including laws of nutrition, what's healthy. Don't smoke, it's evil. Don't judge, it's worse. Laws of immunization, COVID vaccines, of medication, and of the body's protection in innumerable ways. Think further, you believe in the laws of friendship, of good friendships and bad, and you believe you have righteousness in pointing out the errors of others. What you point at is your own shit. Forgive and let go yourself before you expect your friends to change in order to you feel better about yourself. Forgive, or they may just disappear from your awareness forever and cancel you out, because then you don't exist when in a forgiven mind. If you insist on being a little self-righteous ego, don't imagine that. Don't expect a mind that has forgiven itself and no longer sees the world as you do to then still see you. No matter how much you want to share your illusion, sharing isn't true when it's illusion. Perhaps you can even think that there are laws which set forth what is God's and what is yours, and you're going to have some special plane. Many religions have been based on this. They would not save but damn in heaven's name. And yet they are no more strange than the other laws you hold and must obey to keep yourself safe. Let's go non-GMO. Let's go all healthy. Let's go all vegan. You get trapped by your own delusions. Let go, let God. I'm not saying go out and hunt animals and destroy and eat everything you can. What I'm saying is align. Be still. You'll want less and less. You will naturally align. And remember, all of it, everything in this entire illusion is organic to the illusion. Ooh, I'm going to go all organic. What is non-organic on this planet? Moon rock, that's it. Meteors, moldavite. You think you organic? Organic is illusion. He's still a no I am. There are no laws but God. But God's. Dismiss all foolish magic beliefs today and hold your mind in silent readiness to hear the voice that speaks the truth to you, and it speaks in silence. You will be listening to the one who says there is no loss under the laws of God. Payment is neither given nor received. Exchange cannot be made other than a glad exchange where you replace truth. Illusions are replaced with truth. There are no substitutes, and nothing is replaced by something else. The truth always is. It's just the illusionary giving up of illusions where the self is realized as that which is the eternal light of God. God's laws are forever given and never take. Hear him in silent stillness who tells you this, and realize how foolish are the laws you thought upheld the world you thought you saw. Then listen further. He will tell you more about the love your Father, your essence, has for you, about the endless joy he offers you as you, about your shared being in God, about his yearning for his only son, his extension created for his channel for creation, the extension which is the creation denied to him by the extension's belief in a hell called the universe. Let it go and be thyself knowingly. Let us today open God's channels to him, the energy, the essence, and let his will extend through us to him. Thus is creation endless, endlessly creating, endlessly extending, endlessly increased. His voice will speak of this to us, as well as the joys of heaven, which his laws keep limitless forever. We'll repeat today's idea until we have listened and understood that there are no laws, but laws of God, the laws of eternal silence, of joy, of peace, the awareness which is awareness itself. I am under no laws but God. Repeat this often, repeat this often. It's our statement of freedom from all dangers of delusions and of tyranny of the egoic people, places, things, and events. It is our acknowledgement that God is our source, our Father, and that his Son is extension, is extension, and is saved from what? It is its extension forever, that which is the eternal love and light and joyous being of that which is God itself. I am, God is. We'll stop there. Thank you for joining me. See you in the next one.